Hi guys, Blake and Levi here today with Lilley's Landing Resort in Marina on beautiful upper Lake Taneycomo. It is February the 1st of 2021 and this is the one cast. Today we boated up here. We are just a little bit below the cable. We are gonna start fishing the north bank, which usually I start over on the south bank. We're gonna start over here by outlet 1 and work our way down. Today I have we got a nice bluebird sunny day. I'm gonna go with our Tri-Olive Dark. That's a 16th ounce on 2-pound test. And Levi is going to be using a 3/32 ounce sculpin and ginger with a sculpin head on 4-pound test. And let's get this going here. I'm going to try to get us over and hold us right there against that seam line where it kind of folds into that pocket over there. Oh, I don't have any power. There we go. And see if we can't pull a fish right here out of this pocket. So things that are different today. They've continued dropping the water. We're down to, I'm thinking about, the last time it said it was 5,500 CFS, but I can see the banks dropping even a little bit more. Hey, that little man's got one over there. So I'd say we're creeping down in that 1.5 range. So the water is going down, and I'm assuming as long as we don't get any more rain, we will continue to see the water go down. That's just my guess though. Right now I'm kind of holding us out here in front of outlet 1 where the seam line, where the calm water over in outlet 1 meets the seam here. No fish on the first cast today. And I'm holding the boat there and almost kind of giving it more of a jerkbait style action as it swings from calm water to current. I try not to fish this spot if there's a bunch of people fishing here in the outlet, but there's nobody out here on the outside edge. Alright, that didn't work, so I'm just going to let the boat drift. So, something else I noticed when I was looking at the water below the dock earlier is that the water clarity is very good right now. It's very clear. So I decided today with the super bright sunshine that I would jump down to 2-pound test to start off with and just see if that made any kind of difference on the amount of bites. Oh, of course that would depend on whether you chose the right color too. And I'm hooked up on the 3rd cast here. I also know that this Tri-Olive is a very good color whenever the sun is shining nice and bright. And that's the reason I wanted to start over here on the north bank, because the sun was still hitting the water pretty good. Ooh, it's a nice one. Yeah. He's spunky, I know that. We don't have a net. Our net has been stolen. Oh yeah. There's a nice healthy 16-17 inch rainbow there. And another thing about throwing the 16th ounce with 2-pound test is that as long as there's not a bunch of wind, that 16th ounce is going to sink just a little bit faster with that 2-pound test than it will with the 4-pound. So it's almost like throwing a 3/32 ounce with 4-pound. Not quite, but a little bit. So those are different little things you can play with when you're trying to adjust the rate the jig falls at. You can keep your same weight and switch the weight of your line and see if that gets the right approach. Fishing reports for today. Oh, Levi's hooked up. Ryan Williams went out on his day off here and went fishing and said that he caught 5 or 6 fish up in the Narrows using that same rainbow scud that Levi was using yesterday, and I can't remember if he said he caught any on the jigs or not. But I know that he did all right, and another guest of ours was up fishing today, and he decided to go with the double scud rig, and said he caught a bunch of fish up in the shallower water in the trophy area, also using the double scud rig. So scuds are producing effectively the last couple days. I saw we passed Captain Steve Dickey had a boatload of clients out fishing. They were just kind of right above the Narrows when we went by them, and looked like they were on some fish. If I had to guess, he's probably also fishing scuds. Let's see. Oh, I guess another report was Ryan and one of our friends, Kyle, went out last night, and I believe they fished at Point Royale. And they fished jerkbaits, the Signature Series jerkbaits at night last night, and said that the bite was really good. So, lots of good fishing reports today. At least every fishing report I've heard today was good. I'll tell you what, with that 16th ounce on there, on 2-pound line, you can really zing it. And so we just entered the big flat here that goes all the way down to the big hole. And with a unit and a half of water running, this is only 3 to 4 foot deep. And so you can speed up the retrieve of that jig just a touch. And I'm thinking I want to don't want to point the camera this way because the sun's over here, but I do want to fish this side over here now. Ugh. I'm just going to turn the boat sideways here, see what that does. Or maybe I'll just face it nose down. Lots moving around. Alright. Still don't like it. There we go. But every time I've been out lately, the jig bite has been pretty fair. I noticed that most of the time when the oxygen levels are as good as they are, the fish tend to be a little more chasey. Like to chase the jigs, like to chase the jerk baits. Say just overall more active, but I want to get real close to that spot over there. Right over here on the south bank, which is the side we're facing now, kind of right as this flat ends and drops off into the big hole, there's a kind of a little island over here, and I find that there are always fish feeding here. I'll tell you a jig I haven't tried in a while that I need to try again is the all sculpin jig. Not too big of a difference in color, but I have noticed some more sculpin fish in the water, and so that's a main food source for these fish. But oh, there was a hit. Once you drop off into the big hole here, you do need to take note of that and let that jig start sinking just a little bit longer. Get it back down there in front of them. My little flaps on my gloves, the Velcro is just about giving out on them. Hey, there's a fish all the way down there at the bottom. You gotta be real careful, and it's easy to get lazy, and today I would say it's because I don't have a net, but there's a chance I'd do this anyway. But with that 2-pound test, it's real easy to try to pick a fish up and break your jig off. It's been a while since I used tri-olive as well, but it does seem to be working a little bit here today. there's another one. Something you can do a little bit when you're jig fishing. You don't have to be flowing perfectly at the same rate as the current as you would with like an indicator and a fly rod. But if you want to fish a little bit more of the water, you can periodically slow your boat down just a touch. You don't want too much, but if you slow it down just a little bit, you can sometimes get to fish just a little bit more of the water as you go by. Seems to me so far today that they're really down there right on the bottom still, even though the current's lit up. Oh, there was 3 in a row. Dang it. I was trying to build my streak up. If I'm using a jig that has multiple colors in it, I like to make sure that those colors haven't wrapped around each other. Pull the jig up and straighten the feathers out a little bit. And as you get down here towards the boat ramp, we come up on our next shoal, or flat as you want to call it. So you start adjusting that rate again of your pops. You don't need to let it sink quite as long as you go into the shoal. I'm not sure if my 2-pound test is making a difference on the number of bites here today, but I think it's possible, and if you can afford to, then jump down to that 2-pound test and you won't have to ask yourself that question later if your line was too heavy. Just have to be a little more finesse when it comes to landing your fish. Ew, I want to fish that side. I haven't fished that side in a while. So we're down here at the bottom of kind of right at the top of Trophy Run, I guess. And there's this kind of creek side that goes back. Oh, the camera's already pointed the right way. How about that? And there's this ledge that drops off here. And I know that when the water's a little lower, that you'll see some wade fishermen over here, and this is a real good spot. But I just know that the fish like to stack up over here. But I spend a lot of my time fishing that flat over there and don't fish this side nearly enough. A couple more casts and I'm calling it a day. I know that these riffling water over here is an excellent place to spot lock your boat or anchor and throw like an egg pattern into the riffling water there. Got one? Or scuds, or even like a streamer through there. Make this my last cast. Oh. I think that's one of the last cast rules. You can't end with a bite. It's just not proper. So one more. Oh man, there I just saw a fish rise right there. I gotta throw at that. Alright guys, well, we thank you for watching today. Like and share us on Facebook, and we'll get out again tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Thanks guys.